Hello, this is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. Today's video is going to be a 360 degree look of the final pass driving to 1122 King Road, and then also inside the house a 360 degree look just like this. See how we can look around inside the house? So I'll be looking around and you'll be able to look at it and theorize. I still need to have really some more clarity on what the sequencing was in, how things went down inside the house. I do think it was Madison, Mogen, Kaylee, Goncalves first, and then downstairs. I originally had a theory that the first people killed was Xana Kernodle and Madison Mogen because Xana was in the kitchen and maybe he came in, but it seems like that would be even more careless, that there would be this big battle and then you'd still find time to go upstairs, etc. I think he went upstairs first, and Kaylee Goncalves was the start of things going wrong for him, and it just continued as that made more noise than he wanted, and then Xana Kernodle heard that, and then maybe went up and observed, and then he chased her down, and then he had to kill her to keep her from being a witness, and then there was Ethan Chapin, etc. I still believe that Madison Mogen was the sole target that night, and he ended up killing 4 people to protect himself. All right, now there is an update in one of the other cases we've been covering, just really quick. We've been covering the case of Alyssa Petrov, a 15-year-old South Jordan girl who had been missing for over a month, has been located in Colorado Springs. Now, I thought it was a good chance she's still alive. I thought maybe she would be found in Las Vegas or someplace like that because that's where she was headed. But yeah, after a nationwide search in which several people were arrested, she was absolutely being groomed by at least 3 different people discovered during the investigation. It just shows you how prevalent predators are out there. Alyssa Petrov voluntarily walked into the Colorado Springs Police Department on Sunday and said that she was the missing teen. Alyssa is in good health and safe with Colorado officials, the South Jordan Police Department wrote early Monday. Petrov's parents are now working with the police to bring her home. Alyssa's mother told Fox 13 News that they know few details about their daughter at this point. I mean, it's pretty amazing, pretty remarkable. But yeah, I thought she was going to still be alive. I thought she was going to be put into trafficking based on the 3 different people that she was communicating with. And maybe she was. Maybe she escaped. I think there's a very good chance we'll never get to know the answer because of her age and how oftentimes these stories, they just kind of keep it hush. So great news, and now let's get back to the video. Today's video is regarding 360 degree looks from the final pass that the White Elantra was making. I filmed the Willanta Drive using a 360 degree camera. I walked back into the complex and even go back behind 500 Queen Road, right to where Kohberger would have parked the White Elantra behind 1122 King Road, which you see in red right here. So what you'll see here in a second is my 360 degree walk around like this, and then back behind 500 Queen Road, and then around and near the place where he likely parked the car. Then after that, we'll go inside the house, and I've rendered off, took me hours to do because it takes a long time for each frame, but I made a 30 to 31 different frames of inside the house in sort of the sequence that is generally accepted, meaning the killer, Brian Kohberger, went upstairs first, and then he went back downstairs. But at any point, when you're watching this, maybe you can let me know what you think is most likely. Now, when I get each scene that I do a 360 degree rendering of, I can look around, and I'll look around in all locations and different angles so that you can really get a better sense. See, when you make a video, you're just limited to the view that you're looking at that time. So when I made my 3D animation, you're only seeing what that camera is filming right then, where the 360-degree videos allow you to look around wherever you want to. Now, you won't be able to do that because I am recording it as basically a normal 2D type video. But when it's 360-degree video, maybe I'll upload, it's like 17 minutes long, and then you can just look around at each location and theorize on your own. All right? But while you're looking at this, make notes and let me know in the comments section what you think is most likely. And I'm still trying to get rid of my cold. I think I'm right near the end of it, so should sound somewhat normal pretty soon. So let's see. What you're going to see again is I'm walking about right here. This is 1127 right here. So this is the building that lights, when the headlights were coming around right here, would hit. And then this little gap that I drew in here with this wedge is where the vehicle can be spotted on the 1112 King Road camera right here. Just as it goes in between there, the lights of it as it's driving can be seen right there. Alright, so let's get to the video. So this is 1127 right here, and you can see all the way over there, there's the house with the surveillance camera on it, 1112 King Road. So here we go, we're just going to walk around, and you can see this is the house right there, 1112 King Road, and then right up there's the parking spot. You can just barely make out the vehicles up there. Now right here is that gap behind 1119 King Road. You'll see it here in a second. See right here, and then there's 1112 King Road right back there, and that camera picked up the lights going north and south behind there. Alright, so you can just sort of visualize that when Kohberger's driving around, he can look over and monitor the situation. I think that's exactly what he was doing when he was driving by and the DoorDash driver was there. Probably drove a lot slower. And then you can still see, I think right through here, right there, through there is 1112 King Road. But that camera does pick up lights on these trees back here when the vehicle makes its turn out of the King Road residence area. So it comes up like this. And going that direction, you would be in that lane with that car. And we're about to get to King Road. Not sure why I'm walking on this side of the road. It's not the safest side of the road to walk on. When you're walking on a road, you should walk against traffic so you can see the car coming. Anyways, this is King Road right here. And in a moment here, we'll turn up it. You can see the top of 500 Queen Road up there. And here we are on King Road. And in a moment here, we'll get to the intersection of Queen and King Road. And this is where it does the three-point turn at around 406, right around in this area. And then drives back that way. And I just made a video recently, opining on whether or not the DoorDash delivery driver, sat there for 3 or 4 minutes and Kohberger passed him at that time, or did he pass him during right around 4 o'clock? Now we know that we have the key fob sound at 3:59 and 47 seconds. And then there's like a 30-second gap in between the key fob, almost exactly the amount of time you would think it would take for somebody to deliver a DoorDash. Now, usually somebody gets out of their car, they walk a bit, then hit the key fob, and then when they come back, they hit the key fob before they get to their car by quite a bit. They don't do it right when they get to their car. So here is what it looks like. Look how steep it is for those of you out there haven't seen this. Look how steep this is. It's very steep going up that direction, and then it's very steep getting up to here. And you can see when the car was driving this direction, that one time the headlights were hitting this 1119 King Road building right there. Alright, so now we're behind 500 Queen Road. This is exactly where the Elantra was driving. And we're going to make our way around this corner. It's a little bit, obviously, slower because I'm walking. But look how steep that is right there, you guys. I mean, that is like a 30-degree angle. It's crazy. There's like 20 feet higher from down there than it is at the top behind 500 Queen Road. So here we go. We're walking back behind. And this is the little road back there that the Elantra was on. And just look at how that is. I mean, you'd have to have gone out there and scouted the area out to even know there was that little road that drives back there. You know, it could have been where he parked back here and then he just sort of drove down backwards down this parking area here and realized that it comes back out, and then he incorporated that into his looping. He did 4 different passes. Pass number 4 kind of has part A and B. And as you can see, right around in this area, see what's cool about these 360-degree videos. Right here, for example, I can, look all around. Just pause the video and look around. So this is back behind 500 Queen Road. I mean, we could go back a little bit where we're back behind 500 Queen Road, maybe even back over into this area, and so you can see you drive right up through there. This is number 52 where it did the 3-point turn right there. The camera that filmed at 1330 Linda Lane is right back up in there, and then it goes back behind 500 Queen Road, and then we make all the way to the end. Now that's something we wondered about. Did the car park there? Anywhere along here. It feels like right here is a good spot because you can see right into Madison Mogen's room. You could park where this white car is and get an angle into Kaylee Goncalves' room, but you're a little bit more trapped back in this area. So if you look at it, it seems like a smart place to park when it's finally go time would be somewhere right around in this area right here. So let's take a look from right here. See, there is the patio. Right here. There's the patio. And that's where Kohberger would have entered. He would have came down and went that direction. Now, if you look over here, if you park there, it's a really short walk down there, and then slightly uphill, and then you'd walk in and go through the slider. So let me know where you think of the best parking spot would be. Like right up in there. It is easy to go down that bank, but it's also less of a climb over here. And this is sort of like a little bit of a hidden area right down in there because it's below the trees. There's a slope right there. Maybe he laid out some of his blood spatter mitigation equipment down there. Now, maybe right in that spot right there. And then the car could be parked here, and then he gets out and drives away at a high rate of speed. There's no cameras that film this area right there. There is the patio and the sliding glass door. Now we're going to move on to the next portion. Alright, so here we are at the back porch. This is the sliding glass door. And the car would have parked up here somewhere in the darkness, just off to the right there. And this video right here, every 15 seconds it shifts frames so you can look at different places. Now you won't be able to look around, but I'll do it for you. So you look around. I don't know why this one doesn't have the fan above the stove, but this is where Kohberger would have came in. Here's the kitchen, and right there is the door of Dylan Mortensen. There's her door right there. This is a pantry, and that's the refrigerator you see in some of the images online. And then there's some fingerprint forensic dust or whatever you want to call it on some of those cabinets and some of the pictures. There's the living room right there. That's the stairway. That's Dylan Mortensen's room. And these are the stairs that go upstairs. This is also sort of in that little area where there's a step down. Dylan Mortensen's room. Those are the stairs. This is the living room. Those stairs go down, and Xana Kernodle's that direction. Now we're going up the stairs. So there's the living room, Dylan Mortensen's room. These are the stairs going up. There's a window that you can see outside from that parking area. And now we're at the landing in the middle of the stairs. These are the second set of stairs that go up. That is Kaylee Goncalves' room right there. There's a window again, looking down. Let me make it full screen. It's probably better like that. And now we're almost at the top of the stairs. That's Kaylee's room. There's the window that looks out to the parking spot in front of the house. And now here's a bathroom. That's the window that looks out. That's a bathroom right there. And that's why you can't hear audio very well outside on the camera at 1112 King Road, because this bathroom blocks the sound. And it's just around the corner there is where the bed is. So if you look over here, this is Kaylee's room, and her room is much larger because it includes the same size as the bathroom, which is right through the wall there. And this is apparently how it was in the room. I put the knife sheath right there. Kaylee was sort of hunched over in the corner, and then Madison, they said that they could see the knife sheath from the door on her right side. And I guess we don't absolutely know for certain if I'm not sure why some of her skin tone got shifted there, but either way, it's just a model. But there's a knife sheath right there, and I think it's like that. I don't know if she's on her back. I think they would have said the knife sheath was between Kaylee and Madison if it was on her right side and she was on her back. So this is now leaving the room. That's Kaylee's room. Murphy's inside that room. And then we'll be heading back down the stairs. So hopefully this is interesting to see. You know, you just can look all around. I'll put out a version at some point where you can just look around yourself. I tried it before, but nobody watched it, so it's kind of a waste of time, it seems like. But down there is again, the landing. I made it higher up here so you can see the stairs go down. That right there is Dylan Mortensen's room. And now we're at the bottom of the stairs, and this is Dylan Mortensen's room, and that's looking back up the stairs. And there's the kitchen. So it's just right off of her room. So when her door's open and Kohberger walks by, you can see that he walked into the kitchen. And now we just went through, that's Dylan's room, into the living room. Those are the stairs, the couch, the stairs that go down to the first level, and then Xana Kernodle's room is right down there. All right, so again, the kitchen's back over behind the wall there. And then I just put a camera here to show you. Let me just hit the pause button. This is about where Dylan would be. And you can see into the room. You can see Xana Kernodle lying there. So when Dylan Mortensen ran out of this room, that's exactly where she would be. And this is probably even a better sample. You could see into the room when she ran down the stairs to get to Bethany Funk's room. All right, and now we're a little bit further down the hall. There's a bathroom right here, and there's Xana Kernodle. It's just a 3D model, obviously, on the ground. She had like a rug in there, an oval-shaped rug. And obviously on this model I don't have there's a little ottoman that's sitting about right there. And there's a bathroom. It's probably not exactly how the bathroom was laid out. And now we're in the room, and I think Ethan was found on the bed over here. Now there's the bathroom. They had a closet right here. And there's a window that looks outside. Now this is back over Ethan looking back out. This is the window on the right side of the house. If you're looking from the parking lot towards the house, that's the closet and obviously the door right there. Now we're back out into the hallway again. This is the bathroom. And going into the abyss of the living room. It's really dark right there. And now we're in the living room again. And this is where Dylan Mortensen is maybe looking out of her door. And now we're a little bit closer in there. There she is looking out of her door. And those are the stairs that go up. And there's, Xana's right around the corner there. And a little bit closer now. So I think she was obviously further back in with the door maybe cracked a little bit more, but I'm just, trying to make it so you can see a little bit better what's going on here. These are the stairs, the closet. Now we're inside of Dylan's room and her looking out her door. There's a closet there. This is the window that looks out on the first floor just below Madison Mogen's room. Madison Mogen's right up there. Now this is her looking out, and see how you could see if he had bushy eyebrows from that angle? So he's walking by right there. And that's what it would kind of look like to her. And then there he is walking out through the kitchen from behind Bill Mortensen's head right there. And that's again her looking out, and there is the sliding glass door that Kohbergers are already exited. Alright, and there's the sliding glass door. We're back into the kitchen again. Dylan Mortensen's room is shut. And now here is the slider and the kitchen. Just kind of right where we started. And just about to go outside, and I think this is pretty much the last frame. There might be one more. So Kohberger would have gone out the sliding glass door and then back out to his vehicle. So there you have it. That is the 360-degree walkthrough of pretty much the path that apparently Kohberger took. And if you don't want to believe it's Kohberger, you can say the killer. There isn't killers. There's no evidence that there are killers in this case. The only evidence currently that there was a killer is Brian Kohberger's. DNA that was on the knife sheath and his white Elantra driving around missing a front license plate and the fact that his phone was turned off, etc. I'll be making a video going through all the main points that prove or point to Brian Kohberger being guilty to a point of there's no reasonable thought process that paints him as somebody who didn't do this. Now, the defense will say that the untested DNA, that's the other killer. Okay, well, let's just all say, okay, sure, it's possible. But Kohberger was there too, right? And then you're going to say, well, no, he wasn't. He was. Well, then how did his DNA get on the knife sheath? The knife sheath that he purchased back in late March of 2022. Same exact make, model, etc. So anyways, if you guys could please hit that like button for me, I'd really appreciate it. Share the video and subscribe. But really, leave a comment and hit that like button. That'll really help my channel out. All right, so thank you all very much for watching. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.